In my recent video, you can see how god-awful my lighting setup is. I had a quick look online. Honestly, prices aren't too bad, but I don't have space in my tiny office for these tripods. But I do have a load of components I could probably use to make one that would be small enough to fit the office. I modeled up a basic frame in Fusion. I started by printing out the attachment part to make sure it would fit my old boom arm. I then sent the main body over to the 3D printer, making sure to printed vertical so it was all one piece. One requirement I had for this is that it would be powered with USB, meaning here I was actually in the process of setting up a DC step-up converter to convert 5 volts to 12. But halfway through making this cable, I actually found a cable in my drawer that already does this with the right attachments, so I wasn't going to reinvent the wheel. I don't even remember what this is off. But with that, the print was done. I ran out of black halfway through, so I had to use red. I'll probably make another one of these in the future, so I'm not too concerned. I cut and laid the LEDs neatly as I could, trying to be consistent with space. Made sure to thin out all my pads, then wired in a few of them and tested to make sure it all worked. I then went through and wired up all of the remaining LED strips off camera because honestly it was so tedious. I passed in the 2 cables for the power connector and got them wired up. It was time then to test it with the power lead to see if it worked, and thankfully it did with no dead lights. You can see me here testing out a couple of different variations with the light on and off to see how it looks. I also wired in a switch so I could control it, printed out a 1mm diffuser, and with that the project was more or less done. I was very happy with how it turned out. The plan is to come back later and add a box for the switch and the power supply, but I was just so excited by how well it works and how little space it actually takes up in the office. Not to mention it actually cost me nothing to make except time because I already had all these components lying around for years. The biggest thing that I was looking to fix for this project was remove the orange hue that's over everything in my videos, and you can see here through these different clips that I think that I managed to do that. It's far from perfect. These LEDs are old and honestly the diffuser doesn't really work, but look at the difference between this and this. You can tell there's a very clear difference, and overall I'm very happy with that. All in all, I really enjoyed this project and it didn't cost me anything and takes up very little space, so I'm going to call that a success. I might revisit this in the future, but for now this is going to make a big difference in my videos. What do you think?